Hi, my name is D'Angelo, and I am a medical doctor. I've been practicing family medicine for over 35 years, and I am very much interested in the power of water. I have become interested by virtue of going to a number of different water sources over the many years I've been in practice, and seeing various aspects of how water actually works. I am blessed to know that God put on this earth hydrogen and oxygen that can come together and be energized by the electromagnetic radiation and frequencies of the sun, and hold on to that energy and then produce it in our bodies when we consume water or come in contact with water. It is just totally amazing. What a blessing. In the last 10 years, I have been very much involved in using water in a medicinal way. And I have come to know Jay Gutierrez and his program where he has used various natural frequency stones that have been placed in water and around water to produce an energy field in that water that then can heal and cause various wonderful, healthful things happen within the human body. I can specifically relate to one of my patients whom came down to where Jay is and spent several months using the radiation water baths that he had set up, and we did some various experiments with water and found that the actual frequencies of the water could make a tremendous difference in the healing aspects, especially with this lady's cancer. On top of that, I was able to observe how placing these natural stones that hold these frequencies in the tanks that cattle drink out of, how it cleared up the algae problem and how these cattle are just gaining all kinds of weight and looking so healthy, and the vet bills are going down. And I am actually a city boy who comes out to the country, and I'm just blown away by the miraculous things that happen when you energize water in very specific ways. I was also involved as a medical director, if you will, for a water company down in New Mexico for a number of years. And we did a lot of experiments with what is called structured water. Now, water has a structure. It's just what is being determined is what's in the water frequency-wise and how the water molecules are coming together. And when they come together, they can come together as two water molecules, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and others. Optimal water coming together would be 6. It turns out that cells like 6 water molecules together in a unit, and they bring that in to the cell, and this is the optimal type of water molecule conglomeration. So when you structure water, what you're really doing is you are helping water to get into that optimal structure. On top of that, you are also, if you do things in a certain way, which Jay and his people are doing, you're able to clear the memory of water. And water is very, very potent as far as holding on to frequencies. And this is known throughout the medical world, homeopathy, which is really simply 99.999999% water has a tiny bit of frequency that is still present in the water from that particular homeopathic product. So water is very important as far as a frequency holder. It holds the memory of the energy of that frequency. So when you produce a water like that, and you put it on or in the human body, it's going to create health. It's going to do the things that help things become right. And also, it's going to help shatter the frequencies that are doing the wrong thing in the body, that are causing inflammation or destruction. So on top of that, something came about where this type of water was now going to be put into a unit and then placed in the hands of farmers to use on their long spray arms that swing around and create the moisture for the ground and for the plants. And I was privileged enough to be in on the ground floor of this, and we got to see in a particular field here in southeast Colorado a alfalfa field that normally would produce a certain amount of alfalfa, but would also require a spray for insects and fertilizer and what have you. But when this particular water unit was placed in line with the water coming from the aquifer into the large sprinkler arm, and it was then used in watering this field, periodically I would come down here to southeast Colorado and would go out to the field with Jay, and we would see that the plants were so intensely green, more so than you would ever imagine or see in other fields. And not only that, but the rate of growth was faster. On top of that, it was insect-free. As you walked through the field, there were not bugs flying around and flies and what have you. It was just really amazing. And on top of that, the soil was beginning to, instead of being so compacted, it was beginning to show signs of aeration and breaking up and allowing water to go through. Whereas before, water would just pool on the surface of the dirt, and it would not go through. It would just stay there and cause mud, if you will. On top of that, the farmer and his hand, who were constantly harvesting this. No sooner did they go through the field and bring it all up, than they're coming back around very quickly and doing another harvest. So they got much more in the way of alfalfa hay than they ever have gotten in the past. I was also shown the report of the alfalfa, which was sent off to the place that does the chemical analysis of what you're growing in. It was just phenomenal. It was better than 80% in every area. It was just, they'd never seen such high protein content, sugar content, and all the different minerals that they normally would be looking for. What really impressed me the most is that this area of Colorado is extreme drought. Now, after this particular field had been in progress for a number of months, this particular area of extreme drought became moderate drought. And that is because that weather changes began to happen and move into this particular area other than the other areas which didn't have this. And this was really, this just blew my mind. On top of that, they had to turn the amount of water down, way down, because a little bit of this structured, energized water was doing the full job of what used to be a massive amount of water. And again, they were using a lot of water to try to get the water to penetrate the ground. Now, with this structured water, it's opening up the ground, it's getting through, it's getting to the roots, it's going even further down into the aquifer, coming back on and around through. So you have a perfect cycle of water usage. You're using half the amount of water, you're getting quite a bit more growth, and the growth itself is just loaded with the nutrients the plant is supposed to have. On top of that, they didn't use any fertilizer. On top of that, they didn't use any insecticide. So I was just totally blown away by this whole process. And this is the same water that we can use for our health. And we are a fertile field internally, and we certainly can absorb the energy of this type of water within our cells and begin to turn our health around. And this is the exciting news from a medical standpoint, that not only can we heal Earth and heal farming and bring it back to where we're going to produce more with less water, with richer crop, but we can also do the same thing in the fertile field within ourselves. So this is what I want to share, and I'm just very thrilled that the opportunities to be able to use this type of system that they've developed for water is out there, and thank you very much for listening, and I just feel blessed to be a part of it.